Hi guys, it's Melissa from Special Ed Law Mom, and today I'm going to talk about if you disagree with the school's evaluation, what you can do. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. Okay, I just filmed a video about IEP eligibility and how the school is supposed to test your child in all areas of suspected disability, either prior to obtaining an IEP or once they have an IEP, do this every 3 years to determine if they're still eligible. And I will put a link to that video down below because it's important for you to watch that. But what happens when the school does an evaluation and says everything's great, or you don't agree with the evaluation? Do you just sit there and say, I don't agree, or do you have any recourse? Well, you do have recourse. And the recourse that you have is that you can request an independent education evaluation. It's called an IEE, another one of those acronyms. And what it does is it requires the school district to provide an evaluation by a third party that they pay for. Pretty powerful stuff, right? You're basically telling them, I don't trust you. I don't trust the merits of your evaluation. And not only that, you get to pay for my kid to be evaluated somewhere else. I have used IEEs before, and school systems do not like them. Now, there are some keys to using an IEE that I'm going to tell you. There are people out there, sadly, who are extra friendly, I'll put it that way, with school districts, and who have an arrangement with the school districts that requests like this are to be sent to them so that they can do an evaluation. They're usually on what's called the preferred school list, and I would caution you to not use them. I'm sure there are some honest and ethical people out there, but there are also some people that are generating business by keeping the school happy. And one way they keep the school happy is to give the results that the school wants. So they may give results that match the school evaluation results. They may not provide as comprehensive of an evaluation to support whatever the school found. And so I just suggest that you don't use their suggested list of people. Now, sometimes you might be in a town where there's only 2 neuropsychologists in that town or in the area, and you need a neuropsych eval, and these are your choices. Well, what do? I mean, you really, unless you're going to drive 4 hours, what are you going to do? But if you live in a larger area, you should be able to find someone that can do the testing or independent evaluation for you that isn't on their list. A couple things with that evaluation. That evaluation needs to test the areas that are in dispute. So, for example, if they do an eligibility review and they say, we don't think your child is eligible for occupational therapy, well, you can't say, well, I want a speech eval. You have to have the same kind of eval that you're disputing. Another thing that will happen is you might say, I don't agree with you, or I think you should have tested in this area and you didn't. Give you an example on that. We suspected some vision tracking issues with one of our children. The school system said that there was no problem, but we suspected that there was a problem. So we asked them to evaluate in that area. Well, of course, they don't have on staff I think it's an ophthalmologist that specializes in vision therapy. So we went back and forth about, well, we can't test her in that arena because we don't have someone on staff that can do that. And I said, not my problem that you don't have someone that can do that. Here's the name of someone who can, and I expect you to pay for it because you need to test my child in all areas of suspected disability. I don't remember all that happened with that, honestly. That period of time was after our last due process hearing, and it's a little bit of a blur. But what I do know is that they never tested my daughter. And we found out years later, just this past year, that she does indeed have vision tracking issues. And she could have benefited from vision tracking therapy back then. Thankfully, we were able to do it now. But should they have been allowed to get away with not evaluating that? No. Now, does that mean that you can walk in and have a laundry list of things that you just want evaluated? No, you need to have some justification for that. But like I said, if you don't agree with their evaluation results, let's say they have a teacher do a psychological exam, which is totally inappropriate, and it doesn't really tell you anything, then you can say, no, I'm sorry, I disagree with you, and I want an independent education evaluation. So just a couple of things for you to know on that. I've seen good ones. I've seen bad ones. I've seen independent education evaluations requested in regards to eligibility. And we actually did that with one of our children. In my video about eligibility, I talk about the wonderful person that took our daughter's eligibility away and told us that she leaves her autism at the door every day. And so we requested an independent evaluation in that situation. And we went to a person who was friendly with the school system because we'd heard about this person in the community as being well respected. And that person came out to the school and observed our child and wrote up a whole report. But the whole point of having that evaluation was to find out if our daughter was indeed eligible for an IEP. And that question was never answered because that evaluator said that they were not capable of providing that answer. So we went through the whole formality of, we disagree with you, we want an independent evaluation, and then that evaluator would never say, yes, I think this child is eligible, or no, they're not. So there's a lot that can go on. It's a pretty complex thing. I would suggest you get the special education law book that I reference all the time. It better explains independent evaluations, but it's just one of those things in special ed law that schools hate, and that is a powerful tool for parents. So I hope that helps you. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. If you're subscribed to my channel, great. Thank you so much. If you're not, I would love for you to. And if you have any questions or want to leave any comments about independent evaluations, I'd love to hear them. So until next time, make it a great day. Bye.